Delta Airlines, third quarter 2025 earnings call, and your magic number. Hey up everyone, welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. I'm Vaz. Do you know what time it is? Well, it's not time to start talking eVTOLs because we are covering different event. However, this event is related to eVTOLs, and I will tell you shortly how and why. IC Sensei is still running the main event. We are waiting for the main audience to come from the main event, and then I will give you your magic number. Your magic number, you could gather it on Sensei's event, on Sensei's big show today. Let me just pop this in the chat for you, so you can see. You can follow the link and you can fill up your numbers. What's going on? Well, today we are covering Delta Airlines third quarter earnings call. We can see the chart. We can see that the results were good. The results were good. The reaction was very good. It was about 7% in the pre-market compared to the last closing bell price, which was about 57. In the region of 57.30 to 40, and on the opening bell we went all the way up to 60 to 18. So this was good reaction. Now we have a bit of correction, and the price seems to be stabilized around $60.20 to 30 cents. So this is we are going to be covering it now very shortly. I'm keeping my eye on the webcast. We are all set up and waiting for the webcast to start. I'm not getting any update yet. What we are going to do? Well, we have the giveaway. We have the giveaway for you. If you check the link I put in the chat, you have a chance to win $2,000 in XRP from our giveaway. This is our own giveaway. We are giving it out of our own pocket, and this is money to celebrate our success. Because first giveaway was $1,000. It was on the occasion of hitting 100,000 subscribers. And because we liked it, we all liked it, and who doesn't want free money? You can join us on the second giveaway, which is double. And it might be even more. It might be even more if we achieve certain milestones with our sponsor. But for now, your goal is $2,000. If you go to the link I sent you, martynlucas.com/giveaway, you can join in. Here is the video which explains what's going on, and then click here to enter. And if you enter, I'm not doing it because I don't want to be grabbing and claiming your tickets, but if you join here, you can get your free tickets. There are certain actions like subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to. I can see the main audience will be coming in very shortly, so I will break it and I will just introduce them. I will welcome them. So bear with me. I can see people already coming in. We are waiting for the Delta Airlines third quarter 2025 earnings call, and I'm about to give you your magic number, your last magic number. So this is the giveaway. You have a chance to claim your tickets, doing certain actions, achieving certain tasks, completing certain tasks, like following us on YouTube, following Martyn's and my X account, subscribing to Sensei's newsletter, and also by watching certain shows. So on Sensei's previous show, he gave you your 2 magic numbers. I'm about to give you the third magic number. If you add these 3 numbers together and put them in that website, you can claim your tickets. So I'm still waiting for the main audience to join us. We have few people coming in. Bear with me. We are waiting for the main audience. We are covering Delta Airlines third quarter earnings call. We have a good reaction on the stock market. I can see people coming in. Bear with me. We are covering Delta Airlines third quarter earnings call, and I will be giving you your last magic number in the very minute. Bear with me. I'm just trying to gather all audience from Sensei's previous show. Let me just check. That is finished now. I can see people coming in. So in 1 minute, I'll give you your last magic number. As already mentioned, if you go to martynlucas.com/giveaway and you can enter, there are certain ways to claim your tickets. If you want to win or get rewarded by your services with $2,000 in XRP, there are certain ways to achieve this. One of which is your magic number. Sensei gave you 2 magic numbers on his show. I'm about to give you the third one in about 30 seconds. What this is, you add these 3 numbers together and then you put them in martynlucas.com/giveaway, and it will reward you with your tickets. The more tickets you have, the greater chance you have to win the $2,000 giveaway. And I can see, I think we have the main part of the audience from Sensei coming in. Thank you very much for joining. We are covering Delta Airlines third quarter earnings call, and I'm about to give you your third last magic number in about 15 seconds. If you missed your previous magic numbers, go to the previous event, go to Sensei's event and replay it. He gives you 1 magic number in the beginning, and then he gives you another magic number through the show. And I'm now giving you your last third magic number. If you add these 3 magic numbers together and put them to martynlucas.com/giveaway, you have greater chance, you are increasing your chance to claim your tickets to win $2,000 in giveaway. So your last magic number is 10,000. 10,000. 1 and 4 zeros. Your last magic number is 10,000. So if you go back, if you missed the previous numbers, go back to Sensei and he will give you, if you rewatch it, he will give you your previous 2 numbers. If you put them in martynlucas.com/giveaway, you are increasing your chances to win $2,000 in XRP because you are generating more tickets for yourselves. So that's it. We are now covering Delta Airlines third quarter earnings call. I'm about to show you the chart. So this is last night closing bell. We were about 57.20 to 30 cents level on the closing bell. Since the earnings, since the results came out in pre-market, big reaction, massive upside, almost 7%. Very good reaction. Oh, go away, ads. Good reaction, 7%. Now we have sort of retraction and consolidation about 60-30 to 60-40, 45. So that is still good reaction. Let's see. Let's wait for the guidance. I am waiting for the stream, for the webcast to start. By the way, I am Vaz. I didn't introduce myself. I am Vaz. I am one of the newer. Well, it's Martyn, Sensei, and me. You met Sensei on the previous show. I am here with aerospace, and I focus on eVTOLs, advanced air mobility, partially on aerospace as well, as you can see here, and defense occasionally, and all tech. And Martyn is now on his holidays, so all the airtime is now free, and I'm filling it up for you. So we are waiting for the webcast to start. It will be starting in a few minutes. In the meantime, let me just explain why this is important. Let me get a bit of hydration. And I am going to explain what's going on. Yes, I was cheating. I used ChatGPT because if I was doing my research, I would have spent hours last night, and I still went to bed like 2 o'clock in the night and I slept 4 hours. So yeah, I was cheating, but there were my notes. I also input my notes because what I'm going to tell you shortly is what ChatGPT will probably not tell you by default. So Delta Airlines third quarter earnings. We have notes. We have some notes. So what Delta does? Delta Airlines is one of America's 3 legacy carriers and a global aviation powerhouse. It provides scheduled passenger and cargo services across 6 continents and operates Delta Tech Ops, one of the world's largest MRO, maintenance, repair, overhaul divisions, servicing not only Delta's own fleet, but also other airlines. Beyond flying, Delta's business includes Sky Miles loyalty programs, cargo operations, and airport services, giving it multiple income streams across the aviation ecosystem. I would like you to let me know in the chat. Let me know. Just 1 second. I'm getting messages from Martyn. Wait. I'm getting messages from Sensei and Martyn. I'm not following what's going on. I'm not following what's going on. Did I say something wrong, or I'm not? I'm not sure. Martyn, please please elaborate what's going on. So, do we have any Delta Airlines customers? Has anyone flown with Delta Airlines? Let me know in the chat, and I will address your comments shortly. What is the chart doing? We are steady at the level of 60.25 to 60.30, so that is good. That is some good news, because we don't have a sell-off. So the guidance will probably be good as well. So do we have any Delta Airlines passengers? Do we have any Delta Airlines customers? Let me know in the chat if you have ever flown with Delta and what was your experience. And probably tell me where to as well, because I'm quite intrigued. So we have market position of Delta. Delta is recognizing as a premium network carrier with a stronghold in corporate and international travel, particularly transatlantic routes. That's a difficult word. It maintains one of the strongest balance sheets in the US airline industry and is often viewed as the benchmark for full service carriers. Competitively, Delta battles American and United domestically, but its customer satisfaction, operational reliability, and premium travel mix have kept it a leader in yield per passenger and profitability. So we have three major airlines in the United States. We have Delta, United, and I forgot the last one. Can somebody help me? Can somebody help me in the chat? What is the last? What is the third major player? But why this is important? Well, Delta and United, they are both involved in the eVTOL market, directly involved in the eVTOL market, and I will explain this very shortly. Who is Delta partnering with? What's going on? Delta is a founding member of the SkyTeam Alliance and has deep joint ventures with Air France, KLM, and Virgin Atlantic, covering Europe routes, LATAM Airlines for South America, and Korean Air in Asia. Aero Mexico, North America connectivity. Additionally, through its regional partners under Delta Connection, it feeds traffic from smaller airports into its mainline network. These alliances allow Delta to maintain a seamless international reach while focusing on its own fleet on high-yield routes. So let me just, I see you are coming in the chat. Let me check if we have any Delta customers, and because I would like to know your experience. Are they a premium airliner, or is it not as good as it's advertised? So do we have any? David Hensley, third magic number. Yes, I gave you your magic number, and I will give it to you again. The magic number is 10000, 10,000. If you missed your previous magic numbers, go back to Sensei's previous event, and you can gather your previous two numbers. You will get the first and second number. If you add these together and put them to Martyn Lucas /giveaway, you can claim your tickets from today's events. So do we have any Delta customers? We have, Martyn is here. Thank you, Martyn. See, Martyn is on holidays. He's working, he's rebuilding his studio, and he's still watching. I love it. Great, Martyn. Vaz, where are you from? I am from Czech Republic. Don't tell me you are from Czech Republic as well. We've got Justin Vaz. Hello, Vaz. Thank you for joining, everyone. Dark Trobbit is here. Hello, Vaz. Thank you. Steven is here. Delta, third quarter earnings. Yes, I can't wait. We are still waiting for the webcast to start. I'll quickly address your comments and your experience with Delta, which you are sharing with me in the chat. And I'll continue with my notes explaining and reviewing what Tesla does and what we can expect from this earnings call. You can see the chart reaction was fairly good. We are consolidating and holding above $60, which is good. The pre-market reaction compared to the last closing bell value was almost 7% up for an airliner. That is a lot. That is a lot. So do we have any Delta customers? Any experience with Delta? I'm currently working in MRO, says Brian Bynum, not Delta. Very interesting. So you are in the right place, Brian. Trixie is here. Martyn, I think you are really right with the crash on the market. Interesting. Steven says third number. Steven, I gave it to you. 10,000. 10,000 again. Market vlogs. Yes, Delta is good. Okay, thank you. LEB, is the carry trade unwind coming? Join Sensei. Go back to Sensei's show. I know he talked about it. He will talk about it tomorrow as well. So if you missed it, definitely follow Sensei. He'll be talking about it. I think he had Martyn on the show as well. Can we resume with the Fed Live? You need to ask Sensei. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Sensei is going back live, but definitely he'll be giving you more updates through the day, probably after this event, and definitely tomorrow morning. Sensei will be, no doubt, Sensei will be wrapping it up and reviewing and repeating tomorrow morning. There'll be a deep dive in your newsletter. I wouldn't be surprised. So, what is who's saying? Well, Giraffe Lenses. I love that name. American Airlines. Yes, that's the one. Thank you very much. So we have Delta, United, and American Airlines. And Delta and United are directly involved in the eVTOL market, in the flying taxis. So we'll get to it very shortly. We are waiting for the webcast to start. Bear with me. I'm just checking if everything is okay. We are still waiting for the webcast to start. So bear with me. I'm just checking through this. There we go. Let me just... Oh, it's logged me out. So bear with me. I need to log in again. It's kicked me out for whatever reason. Right, the webcast has not started yet. Okay, so Southwest. Is Southwest any good? I thought it's American Airlines is the tripartition dominance. John Tish says, Trixie, what you can see now isn't a crash, it's a small correction. Yes, I agree. The main crash will come after the blow off top. Yes, I agree. Grand Cayman Islands from MCO and Miami too. All right, so we have a passenger. We have a passenger, Steven. I like it. That's good. LEB, I heard something like that. That's I think reference to the crash. I think Spirit. Yes, Spirit is big as well. But I think United, American Airlines, and Delta. I think they are dominating the market, aren't they? Delta Sky Miles, says Angie G. Songs of Space, I swing trade Delta a while back, but if high-income Americans stop spending, they are screwed. Very good. So we have also investor in here as well, or trader. Brian, hello Vaz, hello Brian, lovely to see you here. Discount Airlines tickets are cheaper. Yes, but is it about the standard? Are they meeting the same standard? Is it the same level or is it not? Chris Fulton says, yes, I have flown with them and worked for them as a chef. Wow. They are an amazing company. Very good. Thank you for your experience. Trixie says, and OFC question for Best Vaz. What do you think about Archer? I will get to eVTOL shortly. We are waiting for the earnings call for the webcast to start. Bear with me. John says, Trixie, okay, I'm just saying, yeah, the blow. Okay, you are referring to... DAL Fish, ahoj, jak se máš? Ahoj. Speaking in Czech. Trixie is Czech as well. Dale, you are not Czech, are you? Kimberly is here. Hit the like button. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Hit the like button, everyone. And if you are invested in Delta Airlines, or if you are looking to invest in Delta Airlines, don't forget to subscribe, because we are going to be bringing you some more updates on Delta Airlines, because they are right up my alley. Not directly, but they are involved in the eVTOL market. So I'll be dedicating more and more time to them. They also are participating in one mega worldwide event. So we are eyeing 2028, and it's the LA 28 Olympics. They are the founding partner or founding member of the Olympics, of this event, and they are the main travel and transport partner as well of the whole event. And I will tell you which flying taxi they will be operating during the event. John says, Seth Houston, not sure if I've received biased information, but Delta scares me with how many crashes they have and plane difficulties. That's a good point. John says, John Tish, Vaz, I'm from Czech Republic too. Your accent, I recognized. I don't have a Czech accent. I've got very specific accent. Yeah, okay, fair enough. He's saying, hello, how are you? You are part of a big project. Martyn and Sensei are really good. Well, is he saying that or am I making it up? No, he's saying that. Steven says, used flying miles too. Giraffe lenses. My friend Radek is from Czech Republic, and my other friend sells CZ guns. That's the company, CZ guns, made in the Czech. Yes, very good. Seth Houston says, but I've also only flown once my whole life, and that was this past July, and I flew with Southwest. Okay, thanks for your experience. Trixie says, oh yeah, we are 3 checkmates now. That's brilliant. And Delfish says, I am not, but I lived in Brno. That's the second biggest city in Czech Republic for 2 years when I was younger. I'll tell you what, the second biggest city was the population, yeah? It's over 500,000 people. It's the size of a small American village, yeah? Just for reference. And Brian says, what is it like being multilingual? I'm not multilingual, Brian. I can see I'm struggling with English a bit. I'm struggling with Czech as well. So I think I'm like half English speaking, half Czech speaking. And if you put it together, it makes up to one language. Yeah. Now it's good. It's good. I actually stopped. If it wasn't for my dad and my couple of friends which I work with, I wouldn't be using Czech at all, and I would probably be forgetting my native language as well. And Trixie says, that's what I was saying when I heard you for first. Go away. No, I don't have a Czech accent. People tell me I sound Italian. So you tell me, checkmates. Dalefish says, I also lived in Ivančice. That is a very small village. That's like 50 people living in there. No, it's not, but it's a small town. Sam DX says, if Delta has good earnings, can it pump SPCE? I'm not sure. We might hear something. We might hear a reference on the earnings call. Giraffe Lenses says, I stopped flying Delta when they stopped giving me free Biscoff cookies. Interior of planes were all old and outdated. Very interesting. Very interesting. So let's get back to my notes. I will check if we are getting the webcast because it's kicked me out again. Bear with me. I need to find out why is it doing. So bear with me, please. Delta Airlines. I'm going to their website. I'm trying to find why is it kicking me out. So do we have, there it is. Bear with me. This is the one. Webcast. I am registered. I'm not registered anymore. What is going on? Wow. I'm having some technical issues. Bear with me. It's not technical issues. It's just a little hurdle. Interesting. Why is it doing this? That's interesting. Bear with me. I'll just put my email in. Did you enjoy Sensei's event? And do we have any crypto investors? Because I missed first half of Sensei's event. Are we going to get a cut or not? Let me know in the chat. I need to catch up. Let me know in the chat. There we go. We are up and running. So we are waiting for the webcast to start. It should be a few minutes. We should be starting very shortly. So, what is their fleet? Delta operates around 1,270 aircraft, one of the largest and most diverse fleets globally. Its hubs include Atlanta, Detroit, Minneapolis, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, Boston, Seattle, and New York. 2 airports in New York. A recent fleet strategy has been about modernization, retiring older Boeing 767s, and MD-88s, while ramping up Airbus 321neos and 330neos and A350s for efficiency. Delta Tech Ops provides a major operational edge, maintaining reliability and generating third-party revenue from outside clients. So they are not only flying, they are not only moving passengers, they are also upkeeping and maintaining the aircraft, which is another revenue channel. What is their financial position? So as of financial year 2024, the revenue was approximately 61.6 billion. Net income about $3.5 billion. Wow, that is something good. That is something good for an airliner. Fitch resorted investment grade rating BBB minus in mid-2024, citing strong free cash flow and disciplined balance sheet management. Operating margin remains healthy, but rising fuel and labor costs continue to pressure expenses. The CrowdStrike IT outage last year, which grounded thousands of flights, remains a key operational reminder. I would not be surprised if these 2 points were mentioned in the Q&A section. Definitely CrowdStrike, because it's a big scar on Delta's face recently, and obviously the fuel efficiency. And we are expecting this earnings call to be shifting, or we will have announcement of shift towards much better efficiency in terms of fuel and operational costs. So last earnings call, second quarter, results recap. Revenue 16.65 billion, slightly above expectations. Adjusted earnings per share $2.10, and they beat the consensus by 2 cents. Guidance reinstated financial year 2025 earnings per share ranging from 5.25 to 6.25. Key strengths from the last earnings call: premium cabin demand, international yield, business travel recovery. Interesting. What watch points from last earnings call? Domestic leisure softness, or leisure softness if you are from America. We are talking about American Airlines, so I should be putting on American accent, shouldn't I? So domestic leisure softness, fuel volatility, and labor inflation. Delta's solid. Oh, hang on. Let me announce something. We have a gold member. Joining. Thank you for joining. That is, you are part of an exclusive club, and I don't know if I have a link. Martyn, you are watching. Could you please help me with the link for members? But if you join Sensei on the next event, he will give you all membership perks, and he'll give you the link to it. One of which is one-on-one hour chat every month with Martyn Lucas, investor himself. So that is very good. We have a gold member on our show. And actually, if you want to become a member, if you are not members, we do a lot of member events. I might be doing one for our vertical aerospace investors very soon. Let me just, where do we have the... That's the one. So if you want to join, yeah, let's everyone welcome Jason Tow. Let's everyone welcome Jason. So to become a member There is your link. Loads of perks. Oh, Martyn is there. Thank you, Martyn, for helping me. Loads of perks. There are certain levels of memberships. You have, it starts with bronze, silver, then we have electrum. You can take part in our weekly trivia and there'll be additional content for you. And then obviously gold. And then I think there's a platinum member, which is for main sponsors. And actually, we have few platinum members. But your membership starts as low as $2.99, I think, which is what, 10 cents a day? In my eyes, it's definitely worth it because I used to be a member on this channel. And that's how I become one of the broadcasters, through being a member. And actually, a member. If you look at my badge, I have been member for 18 months now, or 20 months. So yeah, that's my year's badge in the chat. So what? Delta's last earnings call. Delta's solid performance reaffirmed its leadership in profitability and discipline, making it the airline to watch heading into third quarter. So what we can expect in this quarter's call. Investors are watching closely for updated revenue and earnings per share guidance into fourth quarter and financial year 2025 close. International and corporate travel momentum post summer season. And this is what I mentioned already. Fuel and labor cost efficiency. Management. Any fleet strategy updates or new aircraft orders. That will be interesting. And progress on sustainability, sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, that is a big thing. That's echoing through the whole aerospace now. And tech innovation. There is organic, there's synthetic, sustainable aviation fuel. There are various projects in works, and this will be a big thing for the aviation and for the aerospace industry. And of course, will Delta finally mention, and that's what I was telling you, will Delta finally mention the advanced air mobility? Will they mention its eVTOL partner Joby Aviation in their forward-looking remarks? So stand by. If you are invested in Joby, this could be your moment. Because if Delta mentions Joby, that could have reaction on Joby's stock price. Latest news and headlines. Route expansion, new transatlantic destinations. I can't say that word. Transatlantic destinations from Seattle to Rome, from JFK to Porto, and from Seattle to Barcelona. Interesting. Operational incident. We had a minor ground collision at LaGuardia. No injuries in this quarter. Service realignment. Cuts to low-yield routes like Midland TX. I'm not sure I understand this. Maybe American passengers will help me explain this, elaborate it. A resilient brand remains among top airline performers in the S&P 500 since mid-2024. So that's some interesting news. Let me check if we have the webcast starting. The webcast is not starting yet. Let's have a look who we've got in the chat, if we have any new faces on the chat. So Jason is the member. Gold is the member. Gold member. Welcome, Jason. Thank you for joining. Human being Liz. Applause for Jason. Martyn says, welcome new gold member. You get 1 hour a month, one-on-one private video call. Please contact Martyn Lucas on socials. So no doubt you have Martyn's Discord, you have Martyn's X, maybe Martyn's Instagram as well. So reach out to Martyn. You can have your conversation. And I think Martyn might do it from his holidays as well. Kimberly is here. Welcome, Kimberly. Thank you for joining. John says, check accent. It doesn't matter. It's good. You're speaking good. Many people are struggling with speaking. I am struggling with speaking today. I'm struggling to say certain words. I'm struggling to say transatlantic. With speaking, even if they can write good in English, your work matters vast. Well, thank you, John. Are you a member, John? John, are you a member? Do you like this channel? Do you like this content? Do you like me? One way to be one step further, one step closer. You can be one step closer to me. And I might have some sections of this video when I start talking Czech for members, for our Czech members. No, seriously, but if you want to become a member, there's so many perks. You can be part of the Discord server. You will get your stock chart analysis training for free. Many members perks, members only content. Definitely worth it in my eyes, because I am a member and I know what it's about. Patrick Black, good morning. Thank you for joining. Jason Toe says analysis on APLD. Right. So let me know, Jason. Do you want stock chart analysis, or do you want full analysis from Martyn? Let me just check what that Apply Digital Corporation. Let us know if you want a stock chart analysis. You can join Sensei tomorrow morning and he will do it for you. If you want full analysis from Martyn, we need to hear from Martyn, because he has just started his holidays. He's not going anywhere. He's staying in his studio. He's staying in his apartment, in his in his house. But he'll be working on his studio. I'm not sure he'll be able to do any analysis for you. But since you are the gold member, he might squeeze that in. So definitely reach out to Martyn and organize and arrange your one-on-one. And then he might advise on that. Patrick says Exceller has huge potential. Is that a crypto coin? You need to speak with Sensei. Jamie says Enphase up 4.3% now. Very good. Seth Houston, it was quite a lovely shock to see Vaz as a member, and I came back some months later and here it is now. Thank you, Seth. I love it. I know we started close together, didn't we? Our memberships. Because I think I was watching for a while before I became a member, and I remember you, Seth. Well, thank you for the appreciation. Let me get some more water. It's very hot in my studio. You can see my face. I'm matching the red behind me, the Delta Airlines red. The webcast has not started yet, but it should be any minute. I've got it live down here, waiting. I'm listening in the background. You are not getting the background music because it's copyright protected, but I'm keeping my ear on it. And Stephen, our main oil man, 37 months. You are coming to the 4-month badge. Wow, that's impressive, Stephen. 37 months. One of the very, very, I was gonna say old. he is a bit old, but one of the how do you say that? I don't want to say old. one of the close to original members, I would say. Yeah, congratulations, Stephen. New York, Rio, Tokyo. From New York, Rio, Tokyo. Stephen, what is it? Human being list. Have you flown from New York to Rio and Tokyo, or is that a song lyrics? HB4L, I'm thinking market will turn around by the end of the day. Well, we will be watching it. I will bring up the S&P chart on the screen shortly. The stock price for Delta is steady. That is a good sign because we don't have any negative reaction. Do you have any more comments? What about the Fed meeting? I think it's over now, isn't it? Definitely join Sensei tomorrow morning because he'll be giving you a review on that. So Jason, you want chart analysis? Okay, join Sensei tomorrow morning and he will do it for you. Sensei, are you here? Let me just pop a message to Sensei. Sensei, Jason Toe, the new gold member. Let me just pop this message to Sensei, and I will leave it open. We are waiting for the earnings call. Once the webcast starts, I will play it for you, and I will reply. So, do we have anything coming through yet? No, still music. Still music. Still music. Hang on, we've got something going on. We've got something going on. Do we have any more questions? Okay, Human Being List says it's a song. Great. Seth Houston, who? Steven, let's go. We joined at the same time, I believe. Yeah, that's why I remember you, Seth. Very good. We've got something coming through. Now it's just different audio track. Bear with me, let me just check the... Oh, there we go.
My name is Matthew, and I'll be your coordinator. At this time, all participants are on a listen-only mode until we conduct a question-and-answer session following the presentation.
So it's time for me to shut up. Don't forget to hit the like button if you just joined. If we have any Delta Airlines members, we have only 40 likes. Well, we can do better. We can surely do better.
I'd now like to turn the conference over to Julie Stewart, Vice President of Investor Relations and Corporate Development.
We don't get 100 likes. I will shut the stream down. I'll shut the audio down.
September quarter 2025 earnings call. Joining us today from Atlanta are our CEO, Ed Bastian, our President, Glenn Hallenstein, and our CFO, Dan Janke. Ed will open the call with an overview of Delta's performance and strategy. Glenn will provide an update on the revenue environment, and Dan will discuss costs and our balance sheet. After the prepared remarks, we'll take analyst questions. We ask you to please limit yourself to one question and a brief follow-up so we can get to as many of you as possible. After the analyst Q&A, we will move to our media questions. As a reminder, today's discussion contains forward-looking statements that represent our beliefs or expectations about future events. All forward-looking statements involve risks and uncertainties that could cause the actual results to differ materially from the forward-looking statements. Some of the factors that may cause
this is the loudest I can play it. This will be one of the streams where audio is all over the place. Let me try something.
And with that, I'll turn it over to Ed.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning, everyone. We appreciate you joining us today. This quarter's results reinforce that Delta's competitive advantages and differentiation have never been more evident. In the September quarter, Delta's revenue growth and earnings came in at the top end of our expectations, delivering performance that we anticipate will lead the industry across all key financial measures. Revenue grew 4%, led by premium, corporate, and loyalty, reflecting the power of Delta's brand, the financial strength of our customer base, and improving industry fundamentals. We reported pre-tax income of $1.5 billion and earnings of $1.71 per share, with an 11.2% operating margin. Free cash was $830 million, bringing our year-to-date free cash flow to $2.8 billion. We generated a return on invested capital of 13%, 5 points above our cost of capital, and in the top half of the S&P 500. Operationally, Delta once again led the industry on reliability and customer experience. Through a busy summer, our teams delivered for our customers, and I want to thank them for their outstanding work and dedication. Their professionalism and care create the trust that consumers have in the Delta brand. Sharing success with our people is core to our culture. We've accrued nearly $1 billion year-to-date towards next February's profit sharing, because when Delta succeeds, so should our people. I also want to recognize the essential aviation workers, the controllers, TSA officers, federal air marshals, and many others who are keeping our system safe and secure during the ongoing government shutdown. Thank you for your professionalism and your commitment to the traveling public. We're hopeful that Congress will act to reopen the government as soon as possible. Now, turning to our outlook. Our fundamentals are improving and the positive momentum is continuing. Since July, travel demand has strengthened, led by a rebound in business travel, which was up high single digits in the quarter. The U.S. economy remains on solid footing, and our customer base is financially strong, with rising preference for premium products and services. SkyMiles membership is expanding, particularly among younger consumers, and engagement is strong across all cohorts. Consumer spending on the Delta Amex co-brand card is up double digits year-to-date, with a recent acceleration in travel and entertainment that mirrors the improvement that we're seeing in bookings. Premium revenue growth remains robust, and main cabin trends are improving. Structural change has taken hold across the industry as unprofitable flying is rationalized and carriers not earning their cost of capital adjust strategies to prioritize returns. Against this backdrop, we expect to deliver a double-digit operating margin again in the December quarter, with earnings comparable to what we earned in the September quarter. This would be at or above our all-time fourth quarter earnings performance. This brings our outlook for full-year earnings to approximately $6 per share, which is in the upper half of our July guidance range. Free cash generation remains a key differentiator for Delta, and we are updating our full-year outlook to $3.5 to $4 billion, growing our cash generation over last year and consistent with our long-term framework as we build a fortress balance sheet. At the heart of our position of industry leadership is a relentless focus on elevating the customer experience. We're investing across every phase of the journey to make travel with Delta more seamless, personalized, and premium, growing our value proposition to customers. On the ground, we're harvesting the benefits of generational investments in our airport infrastructure. This includes upgraded airport facilities, modernized sky clubs, the launch of Delta One lounges in JFK, LAX, Boston, and Seattle.
I'm sorry about the audio. I can't do any better. This is the loudest I can play it.
We've also partnered with Uber, to begin streamlining the airport pickup and drop-off experiences, enhancing convenience from curb to gate. In the air, we're continuing to expand premium seating and enhance service offerings, ensuring more customers can experience our most elevated products. Digitally, we're delivering a connected experience for SkyMiles members, with nearly 1,000 aircraft equipped with fast, free Wi-Fi, well more than all of our U.S. competitors combined. Our integrated platform is setting the standard for in-flight connectivity and personalization. Exclusive partnerships with American Express, Uber, and most recently YouTube extend SkyMiles further into our members' daily activities, deepening engagement and preference for the Delta brand beyond the flight. And it's all powered by our people, delivering welcomed, elevated, and caring service that reinforces our industry leadership, sustains our durable revenue premium, and underpins our strong financial foundation. In closing, our financial focus remains on profitable growth, margin expansion, and disciplined capital allocation, all aligned with the 3 to 5 year framework that we shared last November. As we enter the final stretch of our centennial year, I'm more optimistic than ever about Delta's future. Thank you for joining us today. And with that, I'll hand it over to Glenn to discuss our commercial trends and demand, followed by Dan with the financial details.
Thank you, Ed, and good morning. I want to begin by thanking the Delta team for their outstanding commitment throughout the busy summer season, and to our customers for their continued loyalty to Delta. For the September quarter, revenue increased 4.1% year over year to $15.2 billion, a third quarter record and ahead of our guidance as momentum built through the quarter. Trends across our business are improving, and customer preference for the Delta brand is showing up in our results. Total unit revenue improved by 0.3% over last year. Importantly, domestic unit revenue turned positive, with sequential improvement as the quarter progressed. This was supported by a main cabin inflection as industry supply moderated and demand improved, materializing earlier than our initial expectations. Internationally, profitability across all entities was strong, with premium continuing to bolster results. Corporate sales trended positively throughout the quarter, up 8% over prior year, with sequential improvement across all sectors. Domestic corporate sales grew double digits, including mid-teens growth in our coastal hubs. We see opportunities for further growth as corporate confidence rebuilds, reinforced by 90% of our most recent corporate survey respondents anticipating that their 2026 travel volumes will increase or remain steady year over year. Diverse high-margin revenue streams grew double digits year over year and contributed 60% of total revenue. Within that, premium revenue grew 9% with improvement across all products driven by a strong demand and consistent investment in premium offerings. Loyalty revenue improved 9%, and travel-adjacent products grew mid-teens as SkyMiles members engaged beyond the flight and throughout our loyalty ecosystem. Cargo revenues increased 19%, driven by the Pacific. Maintenance, repair, and overhaul revenue grew more than 60% on higher volumes and timing of shipments. Delta's loyalty ecosystem continues to be a powerful driver of enterprise value, anchored by the attractiveness of the SkyMiles program, a financially healthy, highly engaged member base, and our exclusive co-brand partnership with American Express. Co-brand holders are among our most valuable customers, traveling more often and spending more on Delta. While roughly one-third of active SkyMiles members hold a co-brand card today, we have further runway as both engagement and member penetration continue to rise. A key proof point is the sustained momentum on spend growth, which has outpaced other consumer credit cards by 2x over the last few years. During the quarter, spend grew at double-digit pace, with new card acquisitions up year over year and a record mix of customers choosing the premium cards. With that, remuneration from American Express increased 12% over prior year to $2 billion in the quarter, keeping us on track to deliver over $8 billion this year and advancing towards our long-term goal of $10 billion within the next few years. Turning to the outlook, the environment continues to improve. Over the past 6 weeks, sales trends have accelerated across all geographies and in every advanced purchase window, positioning Delta to close the year from a position of strength. While we are monitoring potential impacts from the U.S. government shutdown, we have not seen a material effect to date. For the December quarter, we expect total revenue to grow 2% to 4% year over year on top of last year's record performance with solidly profitable unit revenues. Passenger RASM is showing healthy improvements sequentially, reflecting continued strength in domestic and a step change improvement in the transatlantic on firmer main cabin trends and corporate demand. At the same time, financial divergence across the industry has never been greater. As carriers prioritize earnings, their cost of capital, and eliminate unprofitable flying, competitive capacity in our hubs is down year over year, and we expect a very healthy supply-demand balance across the industry into 2026. In closing, I'm very optimistic as we enter the final quarter, building our momentum and positioning Delta for continued top-line growth and margin expansion into 2026. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dan to cover the financials.
Thank you, Glen, and good morning to everyone. Delta's competitive advantages drove another strong quarter as we continue to set the pace for the industry. Our teams are delivering operationally for our customers and driving efficiency. Year to date, we are outperforming the industry across on-time performance, completion factor, and net promoter score. Our premium offerings, industry-leading loyalty programs, and elevated experiences we provide across the entire travel journey is driving increased customer preference for flying Delta and underpins our differentiated financial results. In the September quarter, we delivered record third-quarter revenue of $15.2 billion, with an operating margin of 11.2% and earnings of $1.71 per share. Non-fuel unit cost growth was approximately flat to prior year, bringing the year-to-date non-fuel unit cost growth to less than 2%, consistent with our low single-digit guidance at the start of the year, even as we've reduced capacity after the summer peak to align to demand. I want to thank the entire Delta team for their hard work to achieve these results. Delta generated third-quarter operating cash flow of $1.8 billion, and after reinvesting $1.1 billion into the business, we generated free cash flow of $830 million. On our capital structure, we continue to take an opportunistic approach. Last month, we successfully repriced our SkyMiles term loan, reducing the rate by 225 basis points. This demonstrating the strength of our balance sheet and the attractiveness of Delta credit. Strong cash generation has enabled debt paydown of nearly $2 billion year to date, with gross leverage ending the quarter at 2.4 times. Now, turning to the outlook. For the December quarter, as Glen shared, we expect revenue growth of 2 to 4% year over year with positive unit revenue. On the cost side, disciplined execution supports non-fuel unit cost growth in low single digits, in line with our full year guidance. With that, we expect fourth quarter earnings of $1.60 to $1.90 per share and an operating margin of 10.5% to 12%. For the full year, this brings earnings per share of approximately $6, in the upper half of our guidance range we provided in July. On free cash flow, we are updating our guidance to $3.5 to $4 billion. This outlook is within our long-term target range, enables us to pay down debt while returning cash to shareholders. Our capital allocation priorities remain unchanged: reinvesting where returns are strong, reducing debt, and maintaining our fortress investment-grade balance sheet, which was recently recognized by Fitch with a revised outlook from stable to positive during the quarter. Our investments are focused on the customer experience, as Ed and Glenn spoke about, and on driving efficiency through technology and our fleet. We continue to advance our fleet renewal strategy with approximately 40 aircraft deliveries this year and next. These additions drive meaningful value for our customers through expanded premium seating and for our shareholders through increased efficiency and greater scale among our key fleets. Looking into 2026 and beyond, our focus is on profitable growth and delivering long-term financial targets outlined at our Investor Day last November, including earnings growth, durable free cash flow, debt repayment to drive sustained value for our shareholders. In closing, I want to extend my sincere thanks to the entire Delta team for their commitment to one another and to our customers. And with that, I'll turn it back to Julie for Q&A.
Thank you, Dan. Matthew, can you please remind the analysts how to enter the call queue?
That was a quick one.
From Duane Pfennigwerth of
This is the most important and interesting part.
Certainly.
You will hear
Everyone
some
at this time
interesting
will be conducting
questions.
a question and answer session. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please press star, then 1 on your phone at this time. Your first question is coming from Duane Pfennigwerth from Evercore ISI. Your line is live.
Hey, thank you. Good morning. With respect to the strong improvement in cash flow year over year and operating cash flow, can you just expand on the drivers of that improvement? How much of that is just the working capital benefit of maybe the booking curve normalizing versus earlier in the year? Maybe there's some dynamics around MRO. Any thoughts you have would be helpful.
Yeah, certainly, Duane. Thank you for the question. Year to date, we're on track to where we were last year on similar earnings. And that's even with actually a headwind as it relates to the booking curve. As we talked about over the summer, that spring and summer that compressed, it's starting to expand. We haven't yet gotten all that back. We expect more of that to materialize here in the fourth quarter. And the underlying improvement to offset that is coming out of working capital. We built up a lot of just, I won't call it inefficiencies, but excesses. We were rebuilding the airline, and now's our time as we drive efficiency to work that off, and you're seeing that in working capital.
Thanks. And then maybe, Glenn, for my follow-up, one of the questions we got from a generalist this morning was, can you put the corporate recovery in context, excluding any benefit from a CrowdStrike comp? In other words, are we fully back? How would you put this corporate recovery in context? Thank you.
Yeah,
Told you that would be a question.
Well beyond where the CrowdStrike impact was from last year, and we're seeing similar results to what we disclosed in the third quarter earnings moving into the 4Q. And I'd just remind you and other people on the call that while corporate revenues have recovered to 2019 levels and are actually slightly above those now, that the number of passengers that are booking because fares are higher are still in the high 70s. So we think as business continues to normalize, we have a lot of runway to continue to expand the corporate demand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your next question is coming from Tom Fitzgerald.
I'm
from
sorry about the
TD Cowen.
audio. I can't
Your line
do
is live.
much about it. It's just the quality
Everyone, thanks
is
very
what
much
it
for
is.
the time. I was wondering if you could unpack the improvements you're seeing in the domestic market and how much that might be unique to you, just given your exposure to higher income households.
Well, certainly, I think our exposure to higher household income cohort has enhanced our relative position versus carriers that are catering to a more stressed, lower to middle income environment. So we'll see as everybody else reports. I can only speak for Delta and the strength that we've seen and continuing to accelerate as we head into the fourth quarter.
Okay, that's really helpful. And then just kind of on the same topic, I was wondering if you could unpack some of the mix shift benefit that you might see as we move into 2026 and 2027 as you take on delivery of new aircraft. Thanks again for the time.
Well, we continue to invest in the higher end products, whether or not that's opening up new Delta One lounges or check-in areas. And so as we continue to take delivery, they come with a higher mix of premium products. And if you look next year, well, we haven't given any guidance, but most of our growth, if not almost all of it, will be in the premium sectors.
Yes.
Thank you. Your next question is coming from Katie O'Brien from Goldman Sachs. Your line is live.
Hey, good morning, team. Thanks for the time. Maybe one for Dan. Not asking for 2026 guidance, but this year your unit cost performance benefited from efficiency gains, from growing into your workforce and your fleet and your airport assets. I guess what inning are we in that efficiency growth, and are there further tailwinds from this into next year?
Yeah, we talked a bunch about this at the Investor Day last November, and all those trends are intact. We certainly are still in the early to middle innings where we believe over the long term we can continue to drive efficiency by growing into that workforce, continuing to get growth in the generational airports that we've built that are actually in our run rate, the investment that we've made in fleet as we get scale and efficiency as we continue on the fleet renewal. And then the other element that we talked about is just the role of technology and that it will have in regards to enabling our workforce and giving them tools and transparency to just be more efficient. And we think that is certainly in the very, very early innings of the unlock, and we have years of that in front of us.
Yeah, that's great. And then my second one is actually a bit of a follow-up to Tom's. I wanted to dig in a bit on domestic main cabin turning positive specifically. Can you give a little more color there? I know one driver of that is that domestic main cabin seats for Delta are down year over year. Can you tell us by how much? And then maybe the converse of that. I know back in August when I was in Atlanta, we spoke about how you're doing some retrofits to add incremental Delta comfort seats this year. What does this year's retrofits do for premium seat mix into next year? I know you said most of next year's growth driven by premium seats, but just wondering specifically, how the retrofits contribute to that as well. Thanks so much.
Right. Certainly, as we continue to the premiumization, if you will, of the Delta ecosystem is really dependent on two things. One is the retrofits, which you mentioned, which accounts for probably about 25 to 30% of the incremental premium seats, and then new aircraft deliveries that are continuing to come with a higher mix of premium as they roll out of the factory. So both those contributing to the continuation of improving the experience for our customers. And then lastly, on main cabin demand, we have seen an inflection.
Yeah.
Our main cabin seats are down slightly. They're not down significantly from last year, so relatively flat. But what we have seen is a rationalization of capacity in many of our hubs. As a matter of fact, if you look forward through November, capacity in almost all of our hubs is down year over year from competitive sets, which is allowing us to rationalize the seats that are there and continue to drive unit revenues up.
Really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Your next question is coming from Jamie Baker from JP Morgan. Your line is live.
So, for Glenn, premium revenue growth exceeded that of main cabin by 13 points. That's obviously a new record. And I guess my question is a bit of a follow-up to Katie's. I mean, obviously part of the outcome is driven by weakness in the low-end consumer, but can you drill down a bit deeper into actual changes in consumer behavior? So for example, if you looked at SkyMiles member behavior, how much premium growth is driven by your more affluent members taking more trips versus maybe less affluent flyers trading up to a better experience? There seem to be so many moving pieces to explain the 9% rise in premium, the 4% contraction in Maine. We obviously know the outcome is great, but any further comment on the specific building blocks would be helpful.
Well, Jamie, I think, we've been outlining this for many years that we think that premium still has a long runway. And, we, as you know, following this industry for a long time, we were not selling premium seats 10 or 15 years ago. We were giving them away. And, the re-engineering of the whole purchase process, where we made them much more affordable and much more attainable, has allowed people to buy up into those categories. And, we've always said that we aren't really at the end state in terms of getting the distribution systems where we need them to be to make sure that those products are being displayed to end consumers or agencies the way that they need to be. And that's been a long journey too. So yes, it's been a transformation, and yes, all of the above are true, that people are attaching to these products, and then the repeat rate on them is incredibly high. And I think in previous calls, I've equated it to the car that you drive today. Is it better than the first car you had? The answer is probably yes, and you don't see many people going back to cars that are worse. And I think once people get used to traveling in a certain product, whether it's Comfort Plus, Delta Premium Select, or Delta One, they tend not to go back. Their retention rates in the mid-80s. And so the intent to repurchase very high, the continuing to expand the availability of the products, the price points on the products, and this is a journey, a long journey we're on. So I think it's a great question, and I think we see that there are many, many more opportunities in premium in the coming years.
I appreciate
Jamie, if I could add to that.
Yeah.
A couple of things. There's also, you need to look at the geographies, right? Look at the investment we've made in LA and Boston and New York, and the coastal investment in Seattle. That's where a considerable amount of premium lives. And Delta historically wasn't as big in those markets as we are now. And not only have we moved in there, we've built generational experiences through the airports, the Delta One lounges. Corporate travel is our bread and butter. We are the very best at it, very best serving it. Corporate travel is premium, right? And so, all of these things go in, as you said in your question. There's a lot to that, but we see a considerable amount of continued momentum forward in premium. And the question we get from customers all the time is, when can we get more?
Well, thanks for that, gentlemen. And that actually leads to my follow-up. What does the Venn diagram look like between premium and corporate? So if JP Morgan buys me a main cabin ticket to Miami, that's clearly going to show up as corporate for you. It's going to be on our discount. But if JP Morgan buys me Delta One to Los Angeles, I guess that counts as both corporate and premium.
Yes.
So what could you quantify sort of what that overlap?
What percentage of premium is corporate?
Yeah.
It's probably 30 to 40%. We can get the exact number.
Okay. Okay, good.
More and more, and I think this is the exciting part for us. If you think about one of the issues we had many years back, the difference between yields on corporate and high-yield leisure were very, very different. And so it was a steep cliff if you weren't filling your planes with corporate on what you had to fill them with. And now those adverts, in some cases, corporate personal leisure is higher than corporate these days. So it's given us a really nice ability to manage. And one of the issues we've had with our team that we've been working on is sometimes we run out of seats for corporate and we have to go and put more seats in market because corporate was getting squeezed out by higher yielding leisure.
Excellent. And if I could just squeeze in a third follow-up, just because you brought that point up, you had said 2027 was the year in which premium would overtake main cabin. Any reason we wouldn't see that occur in a quarter or two next year?
Oh, I think you will.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Jamie.
Sorry about the audio. I can't do anything about that. That's the best I can do.
Research. Your line is live.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Glenn, you had a chance to talk about your first car. I think it was the Rambler. I think you referenced that a couple of months ago.
The Rambler Classic. I was
Maybe we
in my
can
high school.
maybe we can stick with the premium discussion because there still seems to be a fair underappreciation for what's going on here, I think, out there. So, like, obviously the revenue growth on premium versus main cabin has been very, very strong for quite some time. But I was hoping you could talk about the profitability of the segments of the cabin. I think that, I mean, should we look at the gap in just the terms of the growth overall as a good benchmark for the differences in overall contribution? There seems to be another step function change coming on seat mix. So it just seems like there's a further step function change coming on profitability as well. So if you could just talk about the segments on a profitability standpoint, that would be helpful.
I just think that, when you think about what's different and what's changed over the last 10 or 15 years, the premium products used to be loss leaders, and now they're the highest margin products. That's really the headline. And really, in descending order of their premiumness is their margin. So the best margins are in the most premium products, and you just work your way down. Now, we've had some convergence on Delta Premium Select, which has actually been so popular as we've introduced it, that the margins are starting to converge with D1, and we're working on separating those back out again. But, really exciting opportunities. These are relatively new products for the airlines. We've only had them, and we've only been selling them, and we've only been selling them in widely available distribution for less than 10 years.
Interesting. Great. Maybe on corporate, just to follow up to Dwayne's question in general, I got a similar question as well. Like, so I know that there's some CrowdStrike noise within it, but the 8% number is obviously a lot. And if you look at some of the other travel industries out there, they're not calling out a game like that. So to me, it seems like you're driving additional share gains, or maybe you could just talk about how the overall market is expanding in general and how you're continuing to drive share within it. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I'd like to call out our sales team. They're the best sales team in the industry, doing an amazing job for us. And clearly, we are continuing to take share on the margin. So, we monitor our share, and then we reconcile it later. But I think, we're seeing mild gains in total share and certainly higher gains in revenue share. But, there's a lot of opportunity as we look forward here, is that, corporations are still not traveling in the volumes they did pre-pandemic. And so as that travel continues to come back, and I think we could look at third quarter sales and take the CrowdStrike out of it, we're still in the double digits.
I think what I'd add on corporate, because I've heard it a couple of times, that somehow it might be driven by CrowdStrike. Actually, that 8%, September was higher than 8%. It was 9%. Right. And that didn't have CrowdStrike in it. So I think there's real momentum here with corporate. It's across all the segments. This hasn't anything to do with the technology outage.
Yeah, one other thing, Connor, I'd add is corporate suspended travel in the early part of the year. So there is also what was some level of pent-up demand to get back out, and I don't think you can underestimate that. I don't see that stopping, by the way, because our outlook when we asked the corporates, they're going to continue to grow. But there was clearly for 4 or 5 months this spring, we were not seeing any corporate growth, and then they all got back on the road together at the same time.
So
awesome. Thank you.
Sales up into this week are staying at or above the numbers we disclosed for third quarter.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Your next question is coming from Andrew Didora from Bank of America. Your line is live.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Maybe Glenn, maybe switching gears a little bit and speaking about Atlantic here. Obviously, RASM down 7% in 3Q. I know you spoke about a step function change happening here, but I doubt you're expecting to get back to flat in 4Q. But maybe could you speak to how Atlantic performed throughout 3Q and kind of what you need to see in order for that entity to climb back to flat unit revenue?
Well, yeah, I think third quarter was clearly disappointing, and I think it was a host of things. Some of it might have been our fault in terms of where we thought the booking curves would be and how we held out for higher fares. And so next year we're going to be much more aggressive in building a solid book earlier in the year. I think the other thing was the booking, as Ed refers to it, as the spring swoon. When the spring swoon was happening and everybody got a little nervous when tariffs were introduced, that was the booking window for the latter part of the summer. So that had some impact on main cabin as well. And then finally, I think we've discussed earlier, is that given that the cohort on the premium products is really, it's in their 60s, that the fall has become a relatively more attractive period than the summer in terms of high-yield leisure. So it's a combination of all three. So we're going to attack it multifaceted next year. I think, we're going to hopefully not have any kind of swoon in the whole demand set. We're going to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of main cabin and filling up those cabins earlier in the booking curve. And then we're going to adjust our capacity to make sure that we're not creating the church for Easter Sunday in July and August. We're going to flatten that out more for the summer IATA season to have a better distribution of capacity.
That's interesting. Thank you. And then, Glenn, since you spoke about kind of margins within the cabin, curious if you'd be willing to rank your geographies by margin performance thus far in 2025, and maybe how you expect that to change, if at all, heading into 4Q in 2026. Thank you.
Historically, we had a domestic premium and an international, and I'm not going to go beyond the international as a whole, but this year they're relatively similar. They've converged on each other, and we're going to have a race. We've got our domestic for 26, our domestic improvement versus our international improvement, and we're going to compete them against each other and see which one can generate the higher returns next year.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Your next question is coming from Mike Lindenberg from Deutsche Bank. Your line is live.
Oh, yeah. Hey, morning, everyone. Hey, Glenn, back to the government shutdown. If you sort of think back to
about the audio.
2019, when did it start to bite? I mean, we're day 9 in, and can you recall what that financial impact was to Delta?
We said at the time it was a little bit less than it was about $1 million a day, and now it's less than $1 million a day for various reasons. One is that DCA travel was off even before, so DCA has not been a real driver in terms of revenue.
Right, I'm having some technical issues with my web browser. Don't know what's going on. I don't want to lose the stream, so I will not try to fix it. Yeah, I'll wait.
In your release, clearly non-hub flying historically. Non-hub flying tended to be lower margin, RASM diluted. What's changed? What makes the Delta product? Well, maybe I'm answering the question. I'll leave it to you. Why is it different this time? Thank you.
I think we used to look at the airline at a route level, but that wasn't really thinking about what's inside the minds of customers, and what makes customers choose Delta over a different carrier. And I think the answer is relevance, right? If we're not relevant, we cannot acquire the Sky Miles, we cannot acquire the frequent flyer, the credit cards, and so the ecosystem, you have to have relevance, and that's why it's important for us to have focus cities. And those focus cities have been quite profitable for us, sometimes exceeding that of the hubs, and so we're continuing to invest in focus cities. We don't have a lot of them, but the ones we do have, we've chosen for specific reasons. And let's say Austin, we've chosen because we don't have a Texas hub. Everybody else has a Texas hub except Delta, and as you know, Texas is in and of itself is a huge revenue market. So, it's seeing those opportunities, looking at the demographics, looking at the GDP of generation for these cities, and saying where do we need to have a relevant offer so that people will join our Sky Miles program, they will join and get our credit cards, and we can produce a relevance.
Very good. Thank you.
Right, I'm having some technical difficulties. I do apologize for the quality of the stream. I've lost all my windows, all my browser windows.
Good morning, guys.
It's all just blank.
I want to maybe follow up on the Atlantic.
I don't know if you can actually see me or not.
How do we think about Atlantic capacity next year? Glenn, you mentioned more evenly dispersed. I guess, how are you thinking about that? And maybe secondly, given your competitor just announced some new additions, how are you thinking about competitive capacity, your own network planning, as well as the A330, 350 product?
Well, I think our product is best in class in the transatlantic.
Wow.
We continue to monitor our relative performance in terms of Net Promoter Scores, and I think it's leading right now, and it's going to get much better as we continue to deliver new airplanes with the Delta One suites and with the enhanced Delta Premium Select and larger Delta C Plus cabins. So I'm really excited about the product that we're putting in market. We've chosen not to fly narrow bodies in the transatlantic because of product and brand issues, and so we're not going to go in that direction. But next year's capacity, I don't know. I mean, I think it's early in the game. Not everybody's announced what they're going to fly. And usually everybody announces what they're going to fly, not what they're not going to fly. And so that usually follows after what we're going to fly next year. So we'll see how it all shakes out. I think it's going to be probably low single digits. And as far as our summer, we'll be probably in a very, very low single digit growth at all in the very peak months of July and August, with a slightly higher shoulder season, which is becoming more peaky.
Great. Thank you.
Again, I do apologize. I've lost all my browser windows. I don't want to lose the webcast, so I'm not playing with it. Just trying to fix it, but I don't know what's going on.
I wonder if you could share what you're seeing on the kind of the Latin America side, perhaps kind of broken out by near national and long haul.
Latin America, long haul, short haul.
Yeah, long haul has been very solid for us. It comes into season in the winter. It's looking for a very good, strong winter season. Short haul has been a mixed bag. Caribbean doing well, Mexican beaches under a little pressure, but all still very profitable for us. So continuing to make investments in those regions.
That's helpful. And if I might, on the maintenance side, Dan, for you, maybe, do you expect 2026 to be kind of above or below in terms of kind of heavy maintenance events? And setting that aside, like, what are you seeing in terms of inflation on maintenance and parts? Is that getting better?
Savi, apologize. We weren't able to hear you clearly on this side. I know it related to 2026, but I couldn't hear the context of the question. Could you repeat it?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was on the maintenance side. Do you expect 2026 to have kind of more or less heavy maintenance events? And beyond the events, just on inflation, just what are you seeing on the maintenance and parts? I mean, is that improving from kind of heavy levels?
Yeah, we're in the early stages of our planning for 2026, so we haven't worked through all our capacity and maintenance. More to come on that as we work through the fall here. As it relates to inflation, yes, I think that's still one part of the supply chain, both as it relates to material availability, to repair, to components. All those have had inflation above the normal. They're coming more in line as the industry continues to get better, but it's got a long ways to go. We've kind of said that part of the supply chain is multi-year in nature as it relates to the opportunities in front of it. Any aspect of it you can look at. The turn times and performance are still not at levels that we experienced in that 17, 18, 19 perspective. And as those come more in line and get healthier, you're going to see greater efficiency out of that.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Your next question is coming from Scott Group from Wolfe Research. Your line is live.
Hey, thanks. Good morning. So the fourth quarter earnings guidance is basically the same as Q3 earnings, and we've never really seen that before, I guess, if you exclude CrowdStrike last year. I guess I'm trying to understand, do you think this is just the new seasonality that makes Q4 a lot stronger, or would you say maybe that you under-earned in Q3, and maybe it's some of both? I think the implications for how to think about next year, would be different based on how you think about that dynamic.
Yeah, fourth quarter, it's actually at or slightly better than third quarter, and I think it's being driven by strong premium demands and corporate travel in season. So we have a nice long season. If you remember last year, we had the election, and in the October period, we had the the country kind of froze right before the election, and it unlocked a little bit after the election, but we had that period. We also have, some favorability in terms of the calendar. So I think fourth quarter is, as long as business is traveling, is a very strong quarter for us. And I think in third quarter, particularly in the transatlantic, we are going to strive to do better in next year's third quarter because we think we had some opportunity, if we had to replay that, to improve our results on the margin.
Okay, so maybe some of both. And then about a point of the revenue growth in Q3 was from MRO, maybe a little help from cargo. Is that sort of sustainable into Q4 and going forward, that MRO strength?
The MRO over the long term, yes, you're going to see it. You won't see it every quarter at 60% plus. I'd say both the second and third quarter were quite strong as it related to MRO. For the year, you think of it more in that 20 to 30% range. But we would like to see many years of MRO growth well above the growth of the core airline and being double digit. But you won't see it at those levels. You'll see much. Actually, I think fourth quarter is probably closer to flat year over year.
And on cargo, great third quarter, and a shout out to our cargo team. I think they did a fabulous job. We have seen some, I'd say, choppiness as we enter the fourth quarter, and we'll see how that what the final result is. But I wouldn't expect that the 19% would be sustainable into 4Q. It's probably going to come down from there, and we'll see. But still, probably growth in cargo.
Thank you, guys. Very helpful.
Thank you. Your next question is coming from Ravi Shankar from Morgan Stanley. Your line is live.
Great. Good morning, everyone. Glenn, maybe a couple of follow-ups to your earlier comments, kind of specifically focused.
Then we are back up. I'll just load the audio. Bear with me. What is going on today? Just bear with me, please. My browser has come back. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happened in there. Everything just gone black. Let me just fix this for you. Bear with me. It's frozen now. We'll get the webcast back again. It's buffering. Bear with me. I'm trying to fix it. Let me just fix the scene. Right, so this is done. Let me just refresh this. Right, let me just refresh this if it's gonna do something. Bear with me 1 second. Let me just give you the chart. Do we have the chart? Yes, we have the chart. Bear with me. I'm working on it. I'm trying to fix this. I don't know what's going on. My browser has gone completely black, all windows, and I lost all my power over anything. What is going on? Right, let me just try to play it now.
A lot of questions about whether you're seeing it in cabin they were going around stage. And if we don't have focus city.
Okay, I think we are back.
We'll now go to our final analyst question.
Certainly. Your last question is coming from David Vernon from Bernstein. Your line is live.
Hey, good morning, team, and thanks for fitting me in here. So, Glenn, maybe just a quick micro question for you in terms of the competitive capacity being down in Delta hubs year over year. I'm wondering if you're seeing any kind of difference in domestic revenue trends in your hubs versus some of the point-to-point leisure markets. I'm trying to get a lot of questions about whether kind of what you're seeing in main cabin is going to be an industry-wide thing or more of a Delta-specific thing.
Well, we have three categories. We have coastal gateways, we have core hubs, and then we have focus cities, and they've all been behaving well. I'd say the biggest improvements have been in the coastal cities, where we've seen a big uptick, and these are also the biggest and wealthiest cities in the country, the New Yorks, the LAs, the Bostons, Seattles, where corporate travel is significantly improving year over year and our share is improving. So that's really been a big driver of it, and the hubs have been performing very, very well, and our focus cities, the ones that we're investing in, are as expected. So, yeah, I think it's a broad brush improvement from where we were just 90 days ago.
Excellent. Thanks for that. And then maybe just if we kind of step back for a second, coming back to the commentary around, earnings consistent with a long-term financial framework, given the weakness and the weirdness of, frankly, of 2025 with the second quarter slowdown, some of the irregular ops days. I mean, if we don't have something like that repeat, is there any reason to think that we shouldn't be at the upper end of the framework you guys have laid out in the past? And just thinking the comps are just going to be so much easier for a big part of next year that maybe we shouldn't be thinking that. I'm wondering if there's a reason we shouldn't be thinking it would be at the higher end of your longer term financial framework.
Hi, David. It's Ed. I'll take that. We haven't given 26 specific insights yet, nor have we completed our planning process, so we'll probably be better equipped to talk about that towards the end of this year or early next year. But no question, we saw some pretty strong headwinds that came quite abruptly, hit us in late January, early February. We had the aircraft incidents, which certainly hurt revenue growth, and in some important markets, you had a lot of the trade uncertainty. You saw consumer confidence plummeting, and to the point where Delta, as you recall, we wound up pulling our guide. There was so much uncertainty for a short period of time. So no question, we have some tailwinds as we look forward into the new year. And if today's environment projects into 26, I think 26 is going to be a really strong year.
All right, that's very helpful. Thank you very much for the time.
All right, Matthew, that will wrap up the analyst portion of the call. I'll now turn it over to Tim Mapes to start the media questions.
Thank you, Julie. Matthew, as we transition from the analysts to members of the media, if you wouldn't mind, please describing how best to enter into the call queue and the process for one follow-up, please.
Certainly.
That's not it. More questions. These might be more interesting.
Q&A session for media questions. If you have any questions or comments, please press star, then 1 on your phone. Please hold while we poll for questions. Thank you. And once again, everyone, if you have any questions or comments, please press star, then 1 on your phone. Please hold while we poll for questions. Your first question is coming from Leslie Joseph. Your line is live.
Hi, everyone. We've seen Amex, Chase, and some others raise credit card fees. Just wondering if you see any pushback from customers in terms of acquisitions on your end, if you think that credit card annual fees at least can keep going up. And then my second question, also seeing really long upgrade lists, which I guess would be good for you guys because you have a lot of elites, not just on your airline, but others. And curious how you're managing that and if the percentage of paid seats in premium has gone up since the last time you've updated everybody. Thanks.
Card fees, but we also injected a lot of value for customers, and we had a record acquisition in that this year. And so we're very pleased with the results. I can't really comment to the results of Amex or Chase, but I would say as long as you're providing more value to the customers, it seems like a pretty safe bet that there's going to be strong demand for those premium products across the spectrum. And in terms of our standby list, yes, there's a long standby list, and we have a lot of premium customers, and that's one of the reasons we've expanded our Comfort Plus offerings, because our most elite customers are allowed to upgrade into those products at time of booking, and we didn't have enough of those. If you look across the spectrum, we were generally sold out of Comfort Plus early in the booking curve, and now being able to increase that so we can accommodate more of our most premium customers with premium offerings at time of booking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your next question is coming from Mary Schlangenstein from...
Stand by, there's more questions coming.
Live.
Hi, good morning. In your forecast for transatlantic travel, I'm wondering if you still expect that to be mostly driven by U.S. point of sale, or do you see a rebound from non-U.S. based customers?
You know, it's always been U.S. point of sale driven. And so the question is, how U.S. point of sale will it be? You know, and our point of sale revenue, we're approaching 80% U.S. point of origin. So, yes, that we hope that there's going to be more. The dollar, of course, has strengthened. That makes coming to America more of a bargain for customers. And so hopefully we see that translate into a little bit higher European point of sale. But we are mostly a U.S. point of origin driven company.
And what are some of the other factors that are ongoing that you see constricting non-U.S. point of sale? Is it still some of the concerns over immigration policies, things like that?
There's clearly safety concerns. There's a whole host of concerns of travel to the U.S. But I think, you know, we still have a great product here, and we have great cities, and we have people with relatives and friends and family, and so there's going to be demand. The question is how much demand, and the good news for us is we're not totally dependent on that. It's not our core business, but I would expect hopefully that next year is a little bit better than this year for European point of sale. For nothing else is that the appreciation of the euro has made European fares look relatively more attractive.
And Mary, this is Ed. You know, the conversation, it's also on the margins, right? It isn't as if Europeans have stopped traveling. They're still traveling in large numbers. The numbers may be down 5%, 7% in some of the markets. You know, we're long term. We think our business model is very healthy for global expansion, and you're going to continue to see us pursue that.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mary, and congratulations. Matthew, let's squeeze one more in, please.
Certainly. Your last question is coming from Niraj Chokshi from New York Times. Your line is live.
Hey, thank you. I was just curious, you know, there's some talk about the industry sort of bifurcating, you know, Delta and United on one side doing very well, and then sort of the rest. And, you know, I guess, do you agree with that assessment? And then if so, is it structural? Is it a sort of industry phase? Just sort of curious to get your sort of sense of what's happening.
It's clearly happening. If you look at the results this quarter, as I mentioned on CNBC this morning, we expect 60% of the overall industry profits to be driven by Delta. Expect the rest of it probably to be driven by United, largely. And then you have everybody else. And this is not a new phenomenon. This has been happening really since COVID hit over the last 4 or 5 years. You know, there's a lot about the industry fundamentals that have changed, that we at Delta are driving a much higher level of quality experience, whether it's reliability, whether it's the product and services that we offer, whether it's the partners we're bringing to the table, whether it's the expansion internationally. And if you are in a category that is, you know, seen as more of a commodity purchase, that they're having a very difficult time. You know, the cost structures have increased as labor costs have gone up. It's been very difficult to get airplanes to get supply growth. Those lower end models depend on high growth, and there's a lot of congestion in the U.S. marketplace in terms of the sky. So I think the bifurcation you're seeing is going to continue, and eventually there will need to be rationalization to enable the lower end of the price spectrum to continue to sustain itself, to be able to continue to attract capital. And I think we're seeing this all play out right in front of our eyes.
Thank you.
Matthew, that will wrap us up, please.
Certainly. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's conference. Thank you for your participation today.
Well, and I thank you for your participation today. We had some technical issues. I have no idea what happened. All my screens went black and I couldn't do anything. All froze. Just my Stream Deck was responding and I could see my stream, my studio, my scene on the auxiliary screen. And that was my only control panel. Only one thing I had power over. I don't know what happened. The PC wasn't overheated. I checked it. It wasn't overheated. Something froze. So for the next event, I will be restarting everything, refreshing everything, updating, whatever. Next event, I'll be doing after the closing bell. I'm not sure whether Sensei is going live for the closing bell, but after the closing bell, and you have a link in the chat. After the closing bell, I am doing another earnings call. I'm doing Levi's. And this is quite interesting company, interesting stock. And Martyn has done quite few previous earnings. And this is the first time I'll be covering them because I was invested in them as well. Unfortunately, I had to liquidate some of the positions and Levi's was one of them. But had I kept it, had I held it, I would have been up. When did I buy it? I bought it about $17. And the current price is about $25. It was as of this morning. So definitely join me for Levi's, and we might see a lot of how to say that? I want to say controversy because we've seen controversy before. The American Eagle and their Sydney Sweeney campaign. We have a cultural shift. Cultural shift probably pioneered by a jeans and denim manufacturer. So is this going to be in Levi's favor? Are they going to jump on it or not? Well, there's only one way to find out. So we had a poll, 194 votes, very good. Let me just close the poll for you, and you can now see it in the chat. So what did you vote? What was your opinion? Is this a buy, hold, or sell? Is Delta Airlines, for you as an investor, buy, hold, or sell? So majority 40%, it's a buy, 25% hold, 21% undecided, and only 14% out of 194, that's 27 people, 27 people would sell. The rest is either undecided or invested or buying more. Very good. Well, the numbers are very positive to me. Let me know in the comments, in the chat, if you have any opinion of that, or if we have any investors, or if we have anybody buying on the back of this earnings call. You could see the market reaction was quite wild before the hours for what Delta Airlines is. Delta Airlines also an airline which is profitable. That's quite unusual. So let me know if we have any new Delta Airlines investors. So thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for bearing with me through the little poo storm we were facing with my software. I think we will wrap this up. Hope you enjoyed this event. Hope you enjoyed the stream. The next one will be maybe more interesting and maybe a little bit more controversial as well. Let's see, because we might be shifting from Beyonce to Sydney Sweeney. I'm just saying. So that's it. If you are rewatching, here is my eVTOL playlist, and here is another video related to this video, to this content. Thank you very much for joining me. Join me after the closing bell. If you stay where you are, it will take you right away to the event, or there is a link below the video. There's a link pinned in the chat. I don't know where's your chat, somewhere here. There. Under the video, there is a link pinned to the next event. And if you stay where you are, it should take you to the Levi's earnings call after hours. Nobody else than me for great success. And I'm not changing my colors because Levi's have got the same colors, so I will just swap them over. American, red and blue. So thank you very much. That's it for now. Take care of yourselves and each other.